Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Don't Be This Girl podcast, where we are learning from some of our on screen women that just make us cringe.
And a little bit of our own lives and our own journey has made us cringe as well.
Yes, let's not forget that.
Yeah. And thus the book, Don't Be This Girl.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness.
How are you, my friend?
I'm well. We're so glad to be with you all. My name is Cyndi Ivette. I'm one of the co-hosts of this amazing podcast, along with my beautiful guest or my beautiful co-host.
I am Yvette Osborne. So happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah. So we're excited we always love our topics. I feel like, oh, this one's going to be so good, but they're all so good.
Yeah, we think so. We hope that you guys think so.
Yes.
Because we love talking about this, and really we're just two friends having a conversation about the things we've seen, the things we've lived through.
Right.
So, hoping to encourage you guys and to help you guys to not make those same mistakes that we made.
Exactly. And so, with the holidays, I mean, we had so many different directions we could have went in, but I think one of the ones that Yvette and I both agreed about was just that whole pressure of, I have a Christmas party. I have a Christmas event. It's a work Christmas party. I need to bring a plus one. I'm by myself. I need a plus one.
Right. Well, it was funny because as we were getting on the podcast right before we came on the podcast here, we were talking about something. We had this little song in our head about that plus one, right? And it was a song by Three Dog Night.
Yes.
Most of you probably don't know who that band is, but it's called One is a Lonely. Well, I don't even know the title.
The song is just one.
Yeah. So the lyric to it is, one is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
Which is not true.
Be as bad as one.
True.
And that's where we're going today, because it's like, it's true.
Yeah.
You think that being that one by yourself might be the loneliest number, but really,
really is bad.
Can be even worse.
Yeah, especially with some of the movies that we wanted to talk about today. There were so many that came to mind. We were thinking about just the whole idea of like renting that boyfriend or renting that pretend groom. So we thought about The Wedding Date. We talked about
movie.
We talked about The Proposal. And what was the other movie that we had said? Oh, this one also.
The other one was The Walk in the Clouds, which isn't, I haven't seen that movie yet. So Cyndi, maybe you could tell us a little bit about that movie.
Yes. I just saw that recently. I was not feeling so great and I was laid up in bed, and I don't remember if it was Freevee or Tubi or one of the other streaming, but I hadn't seen that movie in years. And so it's that whole same concept. It was a little bit different. She was in a different situation. She was pregnant, but she was single. She'd gotten pregnant by her professor. Don't be this girl, ladies. Don't be this girl.
No, that's horrible.
We are so mesmerized by the idea of love. And sometimes we are so quick to buy into what any man will say. We just, because we want it so badly, we'll buy into it. And a lot of times it's not true. A lot of times it is a lie, And so that movie was just so telling of, oh my goodness, girl, like I'm cringing the whole time because it's going to all explode at some point. So it's Keanu Reeves as the her love interest, and he's actually married in the movie. Okay, don't be this girl.
Wait, he's the professor?
No. So she meets him on a train going back to the house, going back to home. She was a college student, maybe at Oxford or something like that. She runs into Keanu Reeves, who's returning home from being in the war. And so he goes off to sell chocolates to make money, civilian money for his wife. And he bumps into this girl on the train. She throws up on him. She ends up crying. And it's...
This is not sounding good to me at all. Who made this movie?
she proceeds to, they keep bumping into each other, so they both get off the train at some point. He doesn't have the ticket to get on the next thing because she accidentally had it when she threw up on him and they fell. I mean, all the things that happen, in the movies.
Wow.
They're bumping into
Wow.
each other.
Okay, because
No.
taking it back a step, when you said something about the professor and whatever, and then you said Keanu Reeves, I was like, my that girl mind went back to going, oh, that would be great to have a professor that looked like Keanu Reeves. Don't
Don't
be
be
this
this
girl.
girl.
I cannot say it enough. Oh my gosh, these are the things that could run through our heads sometimes, and I mean, I
Yeah.
lived the life. I made all of the mistakes, and there you go. That's one of the reasons why, because I'm thinking, wow, my teachers did not look like Keanu Reeves.
Let's hope that many of them don't.
Oh, yeah.
you
Let
know,
them, yeah, let them not be attractive whatsoever, because that causes many problems, as we have seen,
yeah.
even with guys falling in love with their teachers,
It's
their
true.
female
It's so
teachers.
true. I know
Mhm.
it's so true. And Hallmark, I feel like they're the number one that have all of those upset romance where it's upsetting in the beginning. And then of course there's a resolve but the tension is going on through the whole thing. And a lot of times they are the ones that do those romantic comedies where this person is going home for the holidays. Well, if you pretend to be my boyfriend, you pretend to be my fiance. There was one that was with Bethany Lentz, and her boyfriend never told his parents that they weren't together anymore. They had broken up and she was off, living somewhere else. And
Mm.
she comes into town and he basically tells her, I never told my parents that they still think we're together.
Oh my goodness. Ugh.
So she pretends and she's upset,
I
but
can't even handle those movies anymore. I don't know. I mean, and maybe it's just where I'm at in life, because I used to really enjoy that. And it was, I guess, that romantic side of me
yep.
longing for those things. And now I can't even look at, the little things that they show you, the little clips that they show you. I'm just like, "Ugh, ugh." Like, sorry for all of you that love those Hallmark movies and grabbing a blanket and curling up, but I can't. I can't. Is it because I'm married?
Maybe because you're married, and it's, in part, I think it's because it's our message, because we've walked it out and now it's our message. So it's in the very fiber of who we are. We don't want women to be blinded again by this seed that's being sown in these movies that tell us, well, if we just do this, then it'll end up like this. If you just pretend that you do have a boyfriend, you bring that plus one home. I think one of my favorite plus one movies, and it was for immigration purposes, was The Proposal. It was so that she wouldn't
That
get
happens a lot nowadays, but go on.
deported to Canada, and she just yanks her assistant and it's like, oh, we're engaged, and it's like, so they go home and they're doing this whole facade, and it's so awkward because there's no chemistry, in the
Ew,
beginning. You don't know anything about this person. Well, how did you
I
guys
have to
meet?
watch that.
They don't even have that much information about each other to even know. So I just
Huh.
say, like, for the holidays, just be comfortable in your own skin and have so much fun by yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And I say this all the time. My poor husband, I love him dearly. But I do say it all the time. I enjoyed being single because I didn't have to have that plus one
Right.
where, like the song says, right? Two can be as bad as one.
Right.
Or in my mind at that time, I was like, it was nice to be single and to be able to do all the things that you wanted to do. And so I always tell, my younger girlfriends, like, why are you in such a hurry? Enjoy life. Go travel if you can.
Yeah.
Do all those things that, once you settle down and, get married, maybe start a family, those are things that, yes, you will still be able to do. I'm not trying to say that you can't. Absolutely, you'll be able to do those things. But it kind of puts things on a back burner for a second, because you're trying to figure out how to be the best second, right? The
Mhm.
second person in this
Mhm.
relationship. There's one and there's two, and
Mhm.
now maybe three if you have a child. Then, how are you that best person? So,
Right.
I enjoyed doing all of that. And I love my plus one now. We get along so well that it makes it really easy. But yeah, I wonder about that. Like, plus one is not that bad.
No, and
Not plus one. Being the one is not that bad, is what I meant to say.
yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, being by yourself is actually a really good place to be. I think it really does avoid the drama. And having been both, having had, I don't think I've ever, yanked in a person in my life for a facade, but for sure I can say there were times in my early 20s. Oh, I'm going to Vegas for the weekend to be with a couple friend of mine. Do you want to come with me to Vegas? And where you would just feel that pressure. I need to show up with somebody.
Hmm.
And showing up with the wrong person is detrimental. It can be devastating. It can bring drama, it can bring heartbreak, it can lead to unwanted pregnancy, all of the things.
Yeah.
And so going back to your point, two can be just as bad as one.
And then
So
there's, like the wedding date you were saying.
oh, yeah. That movie, she was such a hot I could Deborah Messing was such I really like her and enjoy her as an actress, but I could not handle her in that movie.
Yeah, she's a hot mess, and I love that about her. But it was so funny that she brings this person. First of all, she brings this person, so she's trying to look better. I think
Mhm.
her ex fiance was going to be there.
He was
Uh,
getting married
who's getting married?
to her
Wait,
sister.
was it the ex fiance? The ex fiance was the best man.
Oh gosh, I'm so confused. You're
Yeah,
right.
because she was gonna marry her sister was gonna marry the good guy, but
That's
she was with the
yes,
ex-fiancé.
that's what it
Drama, drama,
was.
drama.
That
Yeah,
was the drama that unfolded at the very end. That's right.
yeah, but Deborah Messing had brought in, what's his name? Is it
Mulroney,
Dylan?
the same one that was in My Best Friend's Wedding. Is it Dermot
Yeah,
Mulroney?
Dermot, maybe,
I think
something.
it's Dermot
Anyway, I
Mulroney.
should I should know this because I just adore him,
He is
and
adorable.
she brought him and everybody else thought he was adorable too. So
Right?
So
Oh
when
my
you're
goodness.
bringing that plus one, maybe be careful who you're bringing.
Yes, Dermot Mulroney, that's who it was.
Okay, okay, we love him. Yeah. So that movie was just hilarious. And it was sad in one way that
Oh,
she
yeah.
felt like she had to hire someone
Who paid
to
him?
come with her.
Yeah, she
I
hired
just
him to be her
It's
boyfriend.
crazy. It's crazy. And did she really need to do that? No. But you could tell that she was not a person who had enough confidence in herself.
Mhm. Bingo. That's it
Yeah.
right there. So if maybe that's a person who's listening or watching and they're saying, gosh, I just don't have the confidence to do it. You can do it. You can do it. You absolutely have the strength to show up to this event or to this Christmas party by yourself. And we've talked about, Bridget Jones is one of our characters in our book. She's one of our chapters because she's a hot mess and we're saying don't be this girl. But there
Mhm.
are a few things about Bridget that I appreciated, and one of them was showing up to that smug couples party, Christmas party, by herself, knowing full
Yeah.
well she was going to be the only one. I'm like, you go girl, that's right.
Yeah,
You
that was
do have
power
it,
right there.
right?
Even if she in her heart didn't have that confidence, she
Mhm.
was gonna go anyway.
Mhm.
She was gonna make her point known that she's good, she's happy, she doesn't need this
Yep.
other person yet, and that's
And
the
she
whole thing.
wanted one. She wanted it
Sometimes
to
I hate this saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Fake it till you make it.
oh yeah,
I
that's not my
don't like
favorite
that
saying.
saying necessarily.
Me either.
But when it comes to being comfortable
Mm,
in yourself and who you are, sometimes you need to even borrow somebody else's belief. So,
mm,
we believe, knowing that we've gone through it in our lives, we believe that you can get through it. We believe
mhm,
that standing up as one person
Hmm.
could benefit you even more so sometimes.
Yeah.
And we don't have to have that plus one all the time.
No. And if anything, I feel like having that plus one, especially if it's someone you don't know or feel comfortable with, then it makes it all more awkward because now what do you hold hands? What are you doing with this person?
Yeah.
Are you going to be so inebriated that that's what's going to make you comfortable? And then you're just like all over each other. I mean, there's so many potential disasters that can come about from bringing this plus one that you barely know, when really you could just have a really fun time. And then if you don't enjoy yourself, then get up and leave. But the term that I like to use, and I've used this on a new thing a lot, is do it afraid. And
There
that's what
you
I think
go.
what you're saying,
Beautiful.
Yvette. I think you're saying do it afraid. Like, even if you're afraid, even if you don't have the confidence, you really are stronger than you realize. And so just put on your Sunday best, go get your hair did, get your nails done, all the things, knock on that door and show up proudly with your chin held up high and just take it all in. Enjoy the people, have meaningful conversations, create beautiful moments with the people that are there. And then you'll leave going, that was a really fun and wonderful night. I really had a great time.
Yeah, I love that. I love
Right?
that. Doing it afraid. Also, something that as you were talking, it made me think of, having that plus one. And if it is just a friend, a guy friend, you have that plus one, they go with you to this party and they expect something else.
Mm,
Because I remember a friend of mine, a male friend of mine, because I wasn't understanding why I was always getting into these situations
mm,
of having these guy friends that expected more.
mm.
And I was like, wait, I don't understand. Like I was just so taken back by it because I thought we were friends and that meant we were friends and that was it. And he said to me, mind you, he's not, I don't even think he's dating at this point, but he had said to me, you asking is an invitation. And I was,
Wow.
what? Are you kidding me? He goes, that is how men think. And now this is not all men. I understand that. But that is what he said to me. And I was just floored,
Yeah.
thinking, could this really be? And I came to find out later on in life that yes, as I was a nice person, as I was inviting men to be my friends and thinking that it was just a platonic relationship, they all wanted more. They just didn't
Wow.
say it, not to me anyway. They didn't say
Yeah.
it to me, but come to find out, they were talking about it amongst themselves.
Right.
And that puts you in a bad situation and makes you look bad too to a lot of people.
Right. And thankfully, I would hope that even if a guy was assuming that, okay, she's asking me to be her plus one, so that means we're going to get it on. I'm hoping that at some point there would be this verbal conversation between, like, if you are the girl that is going to do the plus one regardless of whether or not we're saying to do it or not. I would hope that this guy would be somebody that would respect her and say, oh, okay, I'm sorry, just kind of assumed. But have that conversation. If you feel like, no, I have to have a plus one, have that conversation beforehand. I think it would be the best thing to do to keep that awkwardness out. And sometimes things can lead to a more dangerous and harmful place, and you just want to, again, we're trying to keep you guys from having drama, from having heartache. So you might go, oh, they're just being such prudes. No, we're just saying we know because we've been there, we've done that, and we've had the guy friends, we've had the plus one, we've been the plus one, and not just for Christmas. It's, you have that now. I can just easy, nope, no plus one, just me. Going to a
Yeah.
wedding, nope, just me. Going to a wedding, yep, just me. And I'm excited and I'm meeting new people. And just recently I was at a beautiful wedding in Nashville. I was all by myself. Who cares? It was a gorgeous wedding and they were a beautiful couple. And I just had so much fun meeting their friends, other people. He's in the music industry. She is as well. She's actually a country singer, but meeting other people that are part of their industry And it was so much fun. It was just a beautiful night. And I was able to take it all in, no drama. And sometimes we just have to determine in ourselves, like my peace of mind, my happiness, my joy is much more important to me than showing up to an event with a guy that I don't even like or care about just
Right.
because I don't want to show up alone. You got this, girls. You got this. You can do it. We know you can.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that. That is so empowering, just to hear you say that,
Mm,
because, I've been married now 11 years, so I haven't had that issue, but
mhm.
and it's not an issue, it's just a, happenstance, right?
Yeah.
But I love that because it does allow you to, go out and do the things that you want to do. And sometimes even as a married person, we have to stop and think about our husbands.
Mhm.
Um, do they want to go to this event? Are they going to feel comfortable at this event?
It's true.
So maybe that plus one, even though you have a plus one, maybe
A lifetime.
a lifetime plus one, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that certain event isn't the event for them. And that's something
Absolutely.
that we should talk about maybe, because
Mhm.
I'm thinking that you don't wanna make that person uncomfortable either, and you don't
Right.
want them to be like the Debbie Downer at the wedding or at the party or wherever it is. Sometimes it's just best to just be that one person.
It's
You don't
true.
always have to take somebody with you,
Mhm.
and it's not about necessarily being married or being single, but
Mhm.
just knowing that whatever event may be right for that person as well. Because you could take somebody who has, doesn't even love to a
Mhm.
wedding.
Right. Oh
Can
my
you
goodness.
imagine? And they're sitting there going, "When is this gonna be over? Where is the bar? Um,
Right.
can I hook up with that girl over there, the bridesmaid?"
Oh Lord.
There's so many things that could go wrong.
Right. Keeping it drama free.
It's hilarious. So all
Yeah.
that to say,
Yeah.
yes,
No,
being
that's so good.
being single is not a bad thing. Not having a plus one is not a bad thing.
Yeah, especially this season. I always think when we're wrapping up the end of the year, I always say finish strong. So maybe the first 8, 9 months were weak. Who knows? But inviting a plus one to be your plus one for an event as you're wrapping up the year, in my opinion, is not the way to end strong.
Yeah.
That's rocky, it's shaky. It's like, you don't really know this person, what's going to happen. And I would just rather just all of that, let all that go and just have a really good time and then end your year well. And then, then just look for a brighter tomorrow. I know when you and I were talking about Christmas plus ones, we also talked about The Family Stone, which is one of the favorite movies
Oh,
of both
great
of
movie.
ours. We love that. We love Sarah Jessica and the whole cast and crew. Really, they're wonderful. And there is some point in the movie where it's as clear as day. She does not belong with him. It's Dermot Mulroney again. Okay, so
Yes. Clearly we love him.
he was a favorite also during that era, especially that era, like My Best Friend's Wedding. It's like, who is this doll face on big screen? Oh my
The
goodness.
Voice. Oh,
Oh, everything, the looks,
yeah.
the voice, yeah. But
Anyway,
calm,
moving on.
calm down, Cindy, calm down. But the family Stone, everybody in his family, the Stone family, knew they're not for each other. And it was so obvious to the point where she couldn't handle the pressure on her own, even though he was now they were not a plus one, they were a couple, but they just didn't belong together. They were so ill-fitted to the point where she couldn't handle it anymore. She had to call her sister
That's
in a sense
right.
to come in and be her plus one, like, come save me from this situation. And
Goodness.
so again, it's like if you find yourself calling for a plus one for reinforcement or as an SOS, maybe you are in a relationship, but you're going, oh my gosh, I need somebody here. Then maybe you need to reevaluate and ask yourself, maybe this is he really for me? Maybe he's not the one, right?
Yeah, I mean, that went horribly.
Right,
Here she
because he
thought
ended
she
up
was
with her
calling.
sister.
Yeah, she was calling her sister to help her out, and her, at the time, boyfriend, were they living together?
I think they were living together. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it alludes to that.
he ends up falling for the sister, for the plus one. And you're like, no, like this can't be happening. And,
Yes.
we don't want to spoiler alert the end, but it's just so crazy. Here I'm
It's an
like,
old movie. You
I'm
can
drowning, I'm drowning. Let me call my loving sister. And, she wasn't trying to do anything either. It
no.
was very innocent,
Yes,
but still, so funny, and that's such a great movie. That's a great holiday movie.
it
That
is.
is a good grab your blanket and a cup of tea movie
Oh,
and
and then
just
I cry every year. I get teary eyed at the. It's a beautiful movie, and Luke
it is.
Wilson is in it as well, and he is
Diane
also
Keaton.
a beautiful man. Luke
Mhm.
Wilson, to me, Luke Wilson is the. I call him the. Like he's the bow, he's the ribbon that just ties that whole movie so well. He's so funny. He's so
Yeah,
funny in the movie. Yeah, it's
he
a
was
great
great.
movie.
I loved it. The whole cast was
They
amazing.
were amazing. They were weren't they so like well gelled together? You really felt like they really were a family. I love that. I love when the casting directors just nail it.
Yeah,
Where you forget that it's a movie because they pull you right into the story. They cast that entire movie so well. It was so
yeah.
good.
Everybody,
Anyway,
I mean, they felt like family, and unfortunately, there's a lot of similarities with some of these people and the things that happen, and you're trying to hook up somebody and call somebody else from the past. And oh my gosh, such a great movie, such a great cast.
it's
Yeah,
good.
but that was not the plus one that maybe she was thinking she should have. But
Whoops.
it did work out for the
Yes,
best, because
because of the
she
script
did
writing.
realize that she wasn't that person. And what's funny about that is that if you remember, she was so put together, and so, she had the slick back. I wish I would have worn my hair
Mhm.
like that today.
Her hair,
Slick back,
her outfits were
pony,
so on point. She always looks so on point in that film.
always looked so great until she
Yeah.
fell in the kitchen with
All the egg, all
all
the
the
egg
egg
casserole.
concoction all over her.
The family Morton family. Fast, fast,
Oh,
fast, 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 fast.
it was so good. But she was so well put together, and she thought she was the perfect person, and that it was
Mhm.
their problem. And then she came to find out, when she literally let her hair down with Luke
Mhm.
Wilson at the bar, that she just was being very uptight, and she, I think,
Yeah.
already came in. And that, oh wow, that's another thing. Don't always go in with this, preconceived notion of what you're coming into. Like, if you're going
Mhm.
to a wedding, you're going to a family function or something, don't go in with this negative thought. I think
Yeah.
she already went into it
Oh,
thinking,
sure. They
you
don't
know,
like me.
they're not going to like me. And she had
Mhm.
this nervous tick, which I do all the time. So it made me laugh so much, because I always clear my throat. And I thought, oh, is that annoying? Like,
Yeah. Everything.
yeah. Oh, but yeah, and she was technically the problem
Yes, she
on that
was.
one. So
She
what
was.
yeah,
And again, that really is a great example of she didn't belong with him to begin with. So
yeah.
don't be this girl,
And know when
right?
know when you need to let go. Know
Mhm.
when you are feeling uncomfortable, or you
Mhm.
start to get those feelings of discomfort, step
Yes,
back for a second,
that's
reassess
it.
things. There's no one or no thing telling you that you have to be somewhere, or that you
Mhm.
have to be with someone.
That's
There
good.
there just isn't.
Yeah.
And I think where we are today, it makes it more comfortable to be
Mhm.
by yourself. Everybody enjoys, their single friends, and whether you're a married couple, whether you're a single person, it doesn't matter. We all enjoy each other, I think, and maybe that's just us.
Mhm.
I enjoy being with anyone.
Yes, it's
Any one of my
true.
friends, single or married, we
Yes.
love them all. We have a couple that we spend a lot of time with here. Mind you, we've not even been here a year, and we have made this friendship with a married couple and one of the
Mhm.
single guys that lives in the community. And we have so much fun together all the time. The boys are on text message threads and they joke around all the time. And myself and the other wife, we get along so well. And just, it's such a good friendship
Mhm.
circle that we have. And I just love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really how we should want to celebrate this Christmas season, and really every holiday season or any big event like a wedding or things like that. I just think there's something so beautiful just about being with people that you can be real with, let your hair down with, just enjoy and create those moments and memories. And so, I feel like one of it would just be that mindset. If that's you, if you're listening, or maybe you've gone into a season, or oh my gosh, it's so and so's wedding and I'm single, it's okay. Like, accept that. Just say, hey, you know what? I am single and I'm going to have a wonderful time. Just, it's a mindset. Shift it. It's not a bad thing to be single. It's better to be single and safe and having a wonderful time than to be in a relationship where you hate it, you're uncomfortable, you're not able to be you can't use your voice.
Yeah,
Or
or
you're
you took that plus one that is shutting you down every time you
Yeah,
make a comment or something like that.
right. You're someone that you're not. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not living. That's not life. So change that mindset. Take that pressure off that you don't have to come in with a person. Make that determination. Like, I'm going to be okay by myself. I
Mhm.
heard the podcast. I heard Ivette say it. I heard Cyndi say it. I'm going to have a wonderful time by myself.
Yeah.
And certainly don't spend money hiring somebody to be your beau. Please don't
No,
take it to
please
that
don't
extreme either.
be that girl. No. There are so many other things that you can invest in yourself
Yes.
this season. So, yeah. So, we're so excited for the holiday season coming
Yes.
up. Christmas is a beautiful time. We love it. And yeah, we just wanted to remind you of that. You are so amazing and you do
Mhm.
not need that plus one this season.
That's right. And so, if you liked today's podcast, we invite you to subscribe. We want you to follow us. We want you to come on this journey with us. If you have not yet purchased our book, you can get it on Amazon. Don't Be This Girl. Don't Be This
Yes.
Girl on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. But and then the QR code, if you're watching the video, the QR code will be at the very end as well. But we believe in you guys, and our mission is for every girl, every single girl and married girl, to be able to have healthy, loving, wonderful relationships, both family, familial, friends, but even more so on the romance side of things. We want to keep you ladies from making some of the poor choices that we've made in the past.
Yeah.
He's a redeemer. He's a redeeming God, but
Yes.
boy, it sure feels like heck and Hades to go through it. It's not fun.
No, don't do it. We don't suggest it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Well, we love you. We pray that you have a wonderful Christmas holiday season. Thank you guys for joining us. Anything else I'm forgetting before we say goodbye, Ivette?
I don't think so. I think we're good. Remember to just keep watching us here on YouTube.
Yeah.
We have another podcast coming out
Yep.
for New Year's. And
We
so
do.
we're
Be on
excited
the
to see you
lookout.
guys.
Amen. And we're also on Spotify. For those of you that like just audio only, you can follow us on Spotify or on Apple as well. So YouTube, Spotify, Apple, subscribe, like, comment, share, all the things. And then
Push the button.
buy our book and maybe even a few for your friends. But you guys have an incredible Christmas. And until next time, remember,
Don't be
be
this
this
girl.
girl.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to today's podcast of Don't Be This Girl. To purchase your copy, visit Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or don'tbethисgirl.com. And oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe and share with your tribe. Stay tuned until next time.